doing?
Fantastic.
Ken, you must be pretty pleased with the 6-1 start so far to start the year.
Yeah, very pleased to get 12 points on the board. Long way to go, but it's all about finding ways to win, and I think that we've found ways to win 6 games. I thought Koskinen was the story the other night. You got to have good goaltending, and we got it. So hopefully tonight we're ready to play for 60 minutes.
What does it mean for this organization to have 2 goaltenders that are winning hockey games, 3 wins apiece so far for Koskinen?
Well, it's huge. It's a league now where the odd team has got a workhorse, but usually it's a 1A and 1B, and that was sort of when we signed Mike Smith this summer. That was the hope and the plan, that we'd have good competition, good depth. And it's worked out that way. I know Tip played Mike Smith 2, and then Koskinen 2, and then Mike 2, and now I think it's 2. So they're getting a chance to play a couple in a row and get a little groove. So so good. But it's always good to have 2 goalies that your team feels good about.
What's it like when Detroit's on the ice and you know their players probably better than your own players because you drafted pretty much all those Detroit players?
Well, it's going to be a strange night, Jim. I was a Red Wing for a long time, 36 years, 22 as general manager. Lots of those players in that locker room, I shook their hand at the draft table, welcome to our organization, and watched them grow from young men, young prospects into to NHL players, and obviously the coaches. I hired Jeff Blashill and watched him be really important to our organization in Grand Rapids. And then went to Detroit. So it's going to be a strange night. For me, obviously, I want to get the 2 points. It's a huge 2 points, and then turn the page and move on to Winnipeg on more strange, obviously, when I go into Little Caesars Arena and back into Detroit. But it's going to be strange to see a Red Wing jersey skating around and rooting against it, but that's the way it goes.
Did you have a chance to catch up with some of the guys this morning?
Yeah, I saw the coach this morning, and Paul Boyer, Pete Van Zandt, and as I was coming in, I bumped into 6 or 7 players. So it was a chance to say hello.
Have you chatted?
I have not. No, I don't even know. I'm not sure if he's here or not, so I haven't talked to Steve.
Leon was joking this morning, saying that he's spent so long with Detroit, he's hoping that you're cheering for the blue and orange today.
Oh, I'm cheering for the blue and orange. Yeah, no. It's like I said, it's going to be a strange night. For me, I'm glad that we play Detroit twice in October. We get to when the calendar turns to November, it's all over there in the East. We're in the West. 36 years is a long time, But I'm excited to be an Oiler. I'm excited about our team, and like I think I said from day one, trying to make some noise here in Edmonton. So excited that we're out of the gate 6-1. Know that there's 75 games to go. Know we got a lot of work to do, but feel good that we could put some points on the board and feel good about ourselves as we head into tonight's game.
A lot of players, when they're playing their old team, throw some money in the things for the win.
Yeah.
Do you do that?
No.
You're not going in there.
No, I'm not doing that.
No.
Kind of out of the guys you drafted, guys like Anthony Mansour, Dylan Larkin, Tyler Bertuzzi, Philip Hronek are having good seasons. Other than when you face them, how happy are you to see them thrive like that?
Well, obviously it started last year. Obviously with Dylan, over the last couple of years, it was you could start to see those young players were starting to take a bigger role, bigger impact in the wins and the losses for the Red. More ice time, more important minutes. That's what has to happen for the Red Wings to get back and be a team competing for a playoff spot and trying to make noise in the playoffs. Obviously, I watched their scores, and I've seen them play a couple of times on TV. A lot of nights when they're playing, we play. But I know they're really good young players. They got a bright future, and I know that there's a lot of good kids below that. Some of them are in the American League. But I started overseeing a rebuild 2 years ago, and I'm happy that they've got a top-notch general manager and Steve Yzerman in the seat there, and I know Steve's going to do wonderful things for that organization.
How soon does a former general manager drop the we and us, we and them, like when you get
we Detroit?
Yeah, we as in
Jim, was 36 years. So every now, I find myself, when I'm thinking of Bakersfield, I call it Grand Rapids, or if I'm thinking of Edmonton, I call it Detroit. I'm working on it. But it was 36 years. So hopefully here at some point in time soon this season, it's going to be just we. We as in Edmonton, we as in Bakersfield, and we as in Oilers.
Grand Rapids is a little closer to Detroit if you go down and watch the farm team play than Bakersfield.
Yeah. Certainly that was a great, it's a 2-hour drive from my house in Detroit. I'm going to go to Bakersfield next weekend, watch them play Friday, Saturday. We have lots of good young kids in Bakersfield, and I want to go down and see where they're at early in the year.
Could you have taken a GM job for the divisional with an Atlantic team?
Why is that?
Well, you said yesterday it's easier to root for them because you only...
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. Well, as it turns out, Helene, as it was coming down, and I think Bob Nicholson was around here, as it was coming down that Steve was taking over in Detroit. I went to the World Under-18s with Steve, and started to get, the itch, not the itch, I knew that, the pick, it was Steve's pick, and it was going to be the scouts pick, and I was, I felt that I still had lots of juice, lots of energy, lots of passion in me, and when Bob Nicholson called and we started talking about this opportunity here in Edmonton, I was immediately excited and interested for a whole lot of reasons, and thrilled to be here, and got some really good young players in there. Know we got some work to do to kind of build it and make a deeper team, but feel good about the things that have gone. I took over May the 6th. Feel good about what we've been able to accomplish in 6 months, but we got lots more work to do. Excited to be in Western. I'm a Western Canadian. I'm from British Columbia. I played junior in Medicine Hat. Lived in Medicine Hat when I scouted for the Red Wings in the '85 to '94. So very familiar with the passion of the Oiler fans, passion of the Canadian fans, and the excitement of being involved with the Canadian market.
With Anthony Mantha, is this the player that you envisioned when you drafted him, and what do you suppose he's unlocked this year that's allowed him to get off to the start?
Well, I think Anthony's 25 years of age. He scored 80 goals his last year as junior. He's 6'5". When we drafted him, he had 50 goals his draft year. It's a big jump from junior to, everybody wants them to go from junior to pro and not miss a beat. And the odd player does, but lots of them got to go through what I call adversity, trying times. And they got to realize that they got to go to the gym, they got to work harder, they got to maybe change their game, they got to forecheck more, they got to work harder away from the puck. And I think those are the things that Anthony worked on. Last year I think he was ready to have a big season, and he was out for 6 weeks when he was stepped up for and fought the kid in Colorado. Yeah. Oh, is it? Okay, yeah. He missed 6 weeks. He still had 26 goals missing 6 weeks. So certainly, he's at 25 goals, 26 goals. If he stays healthy, no reason why he shouldn't be able to score 30 goals or plus.
You've only got 22. You didn't want to call up another forward.
I talked to Tip about no. We didn't cap problems. I talked to Tip about it. He just wants we're good for we're gonna get through today and Sunday and then see where we're at.
Ken, what's your grasp on the team's character and leadership in that locker room, especially coming off the win on Wednesday? They were pretty vocal about, they didn't bring up their best effort, but they found a way to win. What's your grasp on the character?
Well, I've been impressed. I thought the LA game when we kept getting behind. We were down 2-1, we were down 3-2, we were down 4-3 and 5-4, and we found a way to win. We kept sticking with it. It's a league where, you just said you got to find ways to win. You're not going to be better than the other team on every night. So you got to win ugly. You got to win on special teams. Some nights you're clicking on all cylinders. You got to find ways to win. So that's what I'm impressed about. I didn't think we had our best game in New Jersey. We found a way to grind out a shootout win, and I thought the other night, a good start. And then we were reeling for about 30 minutes. Koskinen stood on his head for 30 minutes to keep us afloat, and then we started to go. Huge play, obviously, by Connor to beat the guy Braun, score the goal, and we scored 2 power play goals, and we started to get going again. So that's part of the DNA for me. in the National Hockey League. If you want to win games, it's finding ways to win games, believing that you're going to find a way to win a hockey game. And, that's some of the things that Tip and I talked about at the opening meeting, the first night of the year. And I know Tip on a daily basis is talking to them. Got to find ways to win hockey games, And so far in the early going, I think that's been a bit of the story for me, that you can see how we played. I'm not sure we're 6-1, but we are 6-1 because we're finding ways to win hockey games, and it's a good thing to have part of your DNA as we head going forward.
Kenny, more specifically, what have you learned specifically about Draisaitl and McDavid now that you're up close to them every day?
They're pretty good.
Yeah, I see that from back home.
I mean, I met Connor for 3 hours in June. I drove to Toronto and met with him for 3 hours, and I left that lunch saying to myself, I thought he was really mature, really understood what it takes to win, wants to win. Winning is the most important thing to him. I talked to Leon by phone. He was at the World Championship, so I didn't get to meet Leon here. But being around those two guys on an everyday basis, great players, great talent. They want to win. They want to have team success. And they understand how important they're getting the bulk of the ice time. They're getting lots of key minutes that determine the outcome of the game, and they understand that the responsibility, and they're two fabulous players on and off the ice, and team success is of the utmost importance to them, which is critical in a leadership role.
What goals did you think James Neal would get in the first one?
No. I mean, obviously James has been a great story. Jim, over the course of 82 games, everything's going to find its sort of water level. Certainly, when we did the deal, we were hoping that he could bounce back. The guide and record book says he scores 20 plus. We were hoping that a new opportunity he could score 20 plus. So, to think that he have 8 goals in 7 games, no, I never could have dreamed that. Certainly he's been a big factor in us being 6-1. He's got 6 of them are on the power play. Specialty teams has been huge for us. I think we're number 1 in the power play and number 5 in penalty killing. And you've been here. I know last year they were 30th in penalty killing. So that was one of the things that Tip and I talked about as we were trying to sign some players leading up to July 1. We needed some penalty killers. We signed Sheehan, who penalty kills, Archibald penalty kills. So in the early going, again, it's 7 games, 75 games to go, but on the power play, James Neal's been a real good addition. And, to finish it all off, I'm nervous about tonight. Detroit's in town. I'm going to be happy to get this game over with, hoping we can grab 2 points and then go on to Winnipeg. Thanks.
Last question will be from Bob.
With that, I'm going to crash this. Ken's filling the seats tonight with all his friends from all over Alberta. But first of all, these are the jerseys that we're wearing tonight for the very first time. But Ken, I know how much family means to you. And we've known your family for a while, and it's great to have you here, and great to have you back home. You're back in Alberta, where it all started for you. But what we wanted to give to you and the family tonight here, Ken, I think it's a game sheet from the very first game as the president, general manager of the Oilers, and a little plaque and puck. We won it, and hopefully you got a lot more of these in your career. But to the family, it's so good to have you here. Thank you.
Thanks, Bob.
Thanks, Bob.
Thank you.
Kind of won't put that on. Okay.
Thank you.
Just make sure you win tonight.
Hey, Rachel.